13 News at 11 starts right now, and we do want to begin this morning with breaking news. Right now, our team is in downtown Indianapolis at the Julia Carson Transit Center monitoring a suspected mass overdose. Our Ashton Hackman is there right now. He's got the latest information. Ashton, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Sam, we arrived here just as paramedics were getting this situation under control. We are here just south of the City County building. This is Delaware and Washington Street. We saw medics treating several patients here, and we were told just before 10 this came in as a suspected mass overdose. They treated 6 different patients here near and around the transit center in 2 different spots. All of those patients have been taken to area hospitals. They've kind of been phased out in each different locations, but we can tell you they are still piecing together what exactly happened here. We're going to move out of the way. And you might remember, Sam, this was really in the same exact spot about a year ago where there was a mass overdose as well. But again, situation under control here in downtown Indianapolis. 6 patients taken to area hospitals from a suspected mass overdose. Back to you.
Yeah, much more to come. Something we will continue to monitor throughout the rest of the day today. Ashton Hackman reporting live downtown for us. Ashton, thank you. We want to get to some other news this morning. The 39-year-old man suspected in the disappearance and death of Fisher's teen Haley Busby is now facing federal charges. 13 News was the only Indianapolis TV station in Columbus for Tyler Thomas's first federal hearing. Currently, none of the counts he faces are directly linked to the killing of Busby. Our Logan Gay spoke to a legal expert to break down some of those charges.
39-year-old Tyler Thomas is now indicted on federal charges of sexual exploitation of a minor and traveling across state lines with the intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. If convicted, he could face up to 30 years in prison on each count. So far, there are no charges connected to Haley Busby's killing, but criminal defense attorney Katie Jackson-Lindsay says that doesn't mean they aren't coming.
While this case has been going on for some time, they're probably still at the investigative and fact-gathering stage. And so I think in a situation where they already have the suspect in custody, they already have some level of cooperation, I think it's very responsible and prudent to not file charges just yet, because you want to make sure you file the appropriate charge that's going to stick in the event of trial.
Jackson-Lindsay says charging someone with murder is a detailed process.
The crime of murder, that is one of the most complicated and serious crimes on our law books across the country. And so that's a crime that when you charge it, you want to make sure that you get it right.
She says one major factor could be the multiple jurisdictions tied to this case. Court documents show Thomas allegedly picked up Haley from her home in Fishers, drove to his home in Columbus, Ohio, and to a short-term rental in Hocking County, Ohio. Investigators say Thomas later led them to Haley's remains in the Wayne National Forest in Perry County.
It's unusual to that extent because it is multiple crimes that are crossing multiple jurisdictions, which may make it difficult for prosecutors or investigators to determine where each individual act happened and where each individual act needs to be charged.
Regardless of what happens next, Thomas's lawyer tells 13 News he's ready to fight for his client.
We're going to defend it. We're going to defend it vigorously. We're going to deal with the charges straight up, and we'll deal with professional and capable prosecutors, whether it's in state court or federal.
Now, when 13 News spoke with Thomas's lawyer at yesterday's hearing, when asked if he was expected Thomas to face murder charges, he responded saying in part, quote, "I don't think it's much of a leap to suggest that they are considering jurisdiction over that aspect of the case." We also know, of course, state lawmakers are continuing to work on what's called Haley's Law. It would expand the Amber Alert system to better protect kids from the dangers of social media. We talked to Governor Mike Braun and the head of Indiana State Police about all of this. The governor says the social media platforms themselves need to step it up too.
This is an example of where anything we do, state by state, is still going to probably not prevent it completely when you've got an accommodating technology, that the kids are going to know a lot more about it than the parents, and the people that know the most about it, probably the predator. So I want them to start looking at a solution so that we don't do Band-Aid approaches, even though we'll do the most we can until they actually solve it themselves.
So one of the proposals lawmakers are considering right now would require these platforms to get parental verification before kids can access their accounts. They also talked about Indiana's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. It now has 520 members dedicated to going after these online predators. In the wake of all of this, later today, Hamilton Southeastern Schools is hosting an Internet Safety Parent Night. This meeting will identify ways parents can talk to their kids about what's going on online. Also, ways to watch for what your child is doing, and also talking about some specific cases. The speaker is a former U.S. prosecutor, and she'll be there to explain real-life examples of some of this stuff to give parents a better idea of what they're facing.
I really want parents to know and understand the real dangers online, and that's really Miss Preston's focus. She talks about a few of the most popular apps and games that predators are using to access and lure children, but those apps are constantly changing in this digital environment, so it's not just about knowing the particular app, but knowing those warning signs and having some common sense strategies in place.
So interest in the event has grown so much, the school district is now opening its doors to parents outside of the district too. If you want to go, that is tonight at 6 o'clock inside the HSE auditorium. Well, it is now 11:06 on your Wednesday morning. Sean Ash is here with us, and yesterday, boy, it felt so nice out there.
Yeah, I mean, hard to complain about sunshine and 56 degrees.
Yeah.
We're not going to be that warm today, but I still think a pretty nice day.
Yeah, lots of sunshine out there already.
Sunshine continues. We've got a lot of that. You know, what we're seeing less of is snow on the ground. Sam, I want to show you our camera network here across central Indiana. And then I want to take you back 24 hours ago and show you visible satellite imagery. So that's what it looked like from outer space yesterday, and all of that over the state, that's snowpack from our big winter storm in early January, or the latter half of January. And now we'll show you what it looks like today. And there's still some snow on the ground, but just less of it because of the warm up we had yesterday as we dive in. And these are areas that had the deepest snow from the winter storm. A lot of Shelby and Rush counties, Bartholomew County, a good solid 12 inches. So it's going to take a little bit longer to erode some of that. Temperatures at this hour, we're in the middle 30s, mid to low 30s, and compared to 24 hours ago, yeah, it's cooler. We got a northwest wind. We're at about 15 degrees cooler to almost 20 degrees cooler in some locations now that we're behind that frontal system that moved through the state late yesterday evening. 35 right now. But again, we're going to enjoy the sunshine that we have. A pretty pleasant day, just not as warm as yesterday, but we have warmer days ahead. I'll have the timeline on when we could near 60 degrees ahead in the 7-day forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you. Metro Police are now investigating on Indy's northeast side after a shooting there left 2 people hurt. This happened at the Blackburn Terrace apartment complex. That's near 32nd Street and Browse Avenue. Police say a younger man was taken to the hospital and is stable, they say. But just a little bit later, they got a report of a second person shot in that same complex. They say another younger man was taken to the hospital, but this time in critical condition. So this morning, police are still looking into if these incidents are related. If you know anything about what happened here, you're asked to call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. Frustration, fear, and questions. That is what neighbors shared at a meeting about one of the state's largest economic development projects. Neighbors, utilities, and lawmakers, they all came face to face to talk about the LEAP project in Boone County. And the main focus here was the water, specifically how much the district would eventually use. Well, Citizens Energy says the plan is designed to meet future demand without draining local resources. Lebanon utilities say water will go back to Eagle Creek fully treated. But people living along the pipeline route say water quality is not their only concern. They're also concerned about centuries-old trees there, too. State Representative Cherish Pryor says she heard questions about rising utility costs and long-term accountability. She says she plans to take those concerns back to the State House. Still ahead, a proposal requiring stronger cooperation with ICE across the state is on the table at the State House. We are breaking down the details within that bill. Plus, an airspace closure has been lifted over El Paso. But we're hearing from travelers who had canceled flights and why the closure was there to begin with. We'll explain.